Welcome, everyone. This is Zephy Davy, and I'm coming to you in my YouTube channel from Portugal this time. For some reason, my work takes me everywhere in the world right now since I left Sedona and traveling and doing my work, and it's very, very powerful and very important. For some reason, I started this video on 111, which is a new beginning, as you all know. And I tried to do a previous video, which I talked for 20 minutes, but I wasn't recording it. So anyway, so I'm doing a new one now. And to let you know, I was talking a lot about this new energy that's coming in and this new energy that we are trying to really understand. It's very difficult for us to understand how to let go of all karma. And the reason of that is because we are so used to the old way. And the old way is much familiar. It's a lot easier. And it's kind of like this is the time with this new moon that's coming that we need to light the light switch inside ourselves and really bring light into our darkest parts, because we are afraid of the light. And I understand why. And sometimes I don't understand why that we're afraid of the light, but we're afraid of the light because it shows us who we truly are. And we're afraid of that. And then when we get back into the dark place, what we do is we wake up after that, say the next day or week later or whatever that is. And we're like, oh my God, what did I just do to myself? And it's a constant habit that we're doing that. So isn't it easier to light the switch and sit into that light for a few days instead of going back to the darkness, which is familiar, which is, becomes more painful actually than being in the light. The light can be painful for a minute because what happens is once you light the switch, you go into a dark room and your eyes are used to the darkness, and then you light the switch and your eyes hurt for just a few seconds. And that's exactly what happens when you put the light inside of you. You're just gonna have this kind of uncomfortable for a few seconds, but after that, your whole being is gonna light. Your whole energy is gonna light. I'm talking about this and getting goosebumps. This is what the energy that's coming down now, and this is the new way of us going, is lighting the switch, having that few moments of dark, that few moments of uncomfortable, but that's better than being uncomfortable and in pain for longer than that when we stay in the dark side. The dark side is so much more painful, but we don't see it. We don't see it because we are so used to that light, that darkness. I'm sorry, not the light. So now it's time for us to get used to the light, because that is what's coming in. It's like allow the sun to actually burn everything. That's the light. Because yeah, even uncomfortable if you look at the sun for a couple of minutes and it hurts in the eyes, but what happens after that? You become connected. So there's a lot of that is showing up right now. And I had a student say to me, Ms. Zephy, why I'm so comfortable in the past? Even if the past is hurting me so much, why I'm so comfortable there? And I said, because it's easy. It's something that you remember. It's something that you are so connected to. Now it's time to disconnect. It's time to actually see the light, see that what's happening in the new, what the new can bring you. We cannot stay in the ghost of the past. And I have to say, the generation between, say, 40 and 65 right now, and maybe I would say earlier, so the age of 25, maybe 30 and 65 is clearing all the family karma. And the family karma is the hardest one to clear, because it's not just the family, it's generations of stuff, a generation of darkness, it's generations of, it's not just the family now, correct? It's the generations where the family came from. And of course, each time a family has 7 generations. So imagine how much we're clearing inside and how much we're willing well, some of us didn't want to. Some of us don't want to, but some of us do, or because we're becoming, how you say, very aware of it. So once you take it on, it's not going to hurt as much. But if you stay in the past and say, well, I don't want to clear family karma, I just want to blame my generation. I just want to do whatever they've done for me. And they get triggered every time they call you or they talk to you or whatever they do. When you triggered, that is when you need to clear something. So remember, your triggers is exactly what you need to stand up to them instead of falling into them. So don't fall into your back triggers, into your past triggers. Go forward, stand still, ask for help right now. Ask for help to stand still. And it's going to hurt for a minute, but it's not going to hurt for long. There's a lot of this stuff is coming up. And me and Songbird talked in our previous videos about addictions. And addiction is not just drugs and alcohol. Addictions is an emotional addiction. Addictions is food addictions. Everything has to do because we want to suppress all our dark places that we have, from food to drugs to alcohol to whatever that might be, that wants to make us go away from what we need to face. So that's not going to last for long. In the next 2.5 years, the energy is going to show us that our addictions are actually that the biggest, I don't want to call a mistake, the biggest wrong that we ever done to ourselves. Maybe that's the right word. I'm not finding the right word, because we're going to hurt ourselves the more we stick into our addictions. And addictions are something that is time for us to let go, from emotional to alcohol to drugs to everything that is out there. Even buying clothes, even going out there to buy everything that we can, because we don't do drugs, we don't do alcohol, we just shop. That's another addiction. So whatever you feel that your addiction is, look at it. And why are you doing it? I love buying clothes, but I realized, that I don't need anymore because I have a lot. So that was my form of addiction also. And it's time for us to see and live the simplicity that we are here to create it for. We created it to live in a simple way. We've been created to have this beautiful life. We have a home, we have a car, we have food, and yes, we don't need more clothes. We don't need more gold jewelry or fake jewelry, whatever we've been buying. We don't need to get away. We just need to look at our spiritual self. And a spiritual self, when we look at it, is actually going to fulfill you. It's the key right now to connect to our true soul, to who we truly are, and accept ourselves with whatever we have and we don't have. We don't need to be like anybody else. We need to be ourselves. We need to be true ourselves. So who is your true self? What is your true self? I was listening to a Tibetan Lama and said, universal truth. I always believed in universal truth, but he just kind of confirmed what I always believed for all these years. And he said, the universal truth is something that you cannot touch. It's something that it cannot speak. It doesn't have a voice, but the universal truth is inside of you, but it's been covered with all this other stuff. So let's look at the universal truth. What is your universal truth? Who are you in this universal truth? Namaste. Thank you for being part of my channel. Thank you for subscribing. Please share this. Universal truth is so important to find it in yourself.